Let's make a CRT video wall controller. All right, so there were three things in those boxes. First of all, we have this Extron matrix switcher. Basically what this can do is you can route 16 different inputs to 16 different outputs in any combination. So you could set 1 to 1 and 2 and 4 to 4 and 5 and 6, and it's basically a video router. This was only $65 on eBay. And if you look at the back, you can see these are B and C inputs. So, you can convert this to adapt it to RCA and just connect it to any normal CRT, so like a composite video signal. You can see this has like two sets of it, Y and C. We're actually only going to be using this first part and outputting here. You don't really need to worry about that second row. Next up is this pile power conditioner. This is one that we probably have like 4 of these things at this point now because it has 16 different outputs that are flexible. So, if you have, big plugs, they don't interfere with each other. You can route them however you want. And so the idea, this will power at least 16 different televisions up to 1500 watts, 15 amps. And then you also have USB on the front as well as more power. And finally, you need a case to put it in. I chose this 5U one that has fabric on the outside, just so there's like a nice easy strap to carry it by. So if you unzip this, you can see it is 5U, and I believe it's 12-inch depth, so that should be enough for both of these. So let's screw it all together. So to recap, $65 on eBay, $65 on eBay, $100 on eBay, total for $230. Of course, you also need cables to actually hook them up to your TVs. I got a 5-pack of 10-foot long RCA cables. We're actually not going to be using them for audio at all. They're all going to be running composite video. But the reason why I like these cables is because you can get them on discount on eBay for really cheap. And I'll show you, you can kind of, it's hard to do with one hand, but you can kind of like separate them apart. So you can actually separate these into 3 individual cables. So you can run them all individually rather than having them connected. All right, so once you separate each one, it looks like this. But of course, we can't plug RCA into B and C without an adapter. That. And there you go. Now we have 16 B and C to RCA adapters in place for the outputs. And I only left 4 on the inputs because I think I'm probably only going to send 4 individual video streams maximum to the wall. Okay, here's what it looks like with everything screwed in. You can see that there is still one empty unit, rack unit. I'm probably going to put a HDMI splitter in there or something at some point in the future. That's why I wanted to leave an extra space. And if we go around to the back, unfortunately, these are actually sticking out behind the back of the unit, but this actually isn't a problem because it's meant to just be closed, essentially zipped shut on top of them, so that actually will not be an issue. So now I think the next step is just to go ahead and connect the matrix switcher to the power supply and plug it in, and we'll test it. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. And now it should probably be functional, so we can choose 1 and map that to, TV 1, 2, 3, and 4. See, they're flashing like that now. And if you just hit enter, then it saves it. So now when I hit 1, you can see it's heading to 1 through 4. And then I could be like, oh, let me go 2 to, all those, and then hit enter. So then you can see, 1 goes to 1 through 4, and 2 goes through 8 through 12. And what you can do is basically create presets from these and create patterns of the way video signals are being routed to the wall, and then trigger those presets remotely through this right here. It says remote. So yeah, this is an RS-232 remote input port, and you can take one of these RS-232 cables that converts it to USB and plug this into your computer and essentially control the switcher in the exact same way that you would a MIDI output. Okay, now everything is plugged in. We have 3 CRTs going into the video wall switcher, and we have 2 inputs. So one is some glitchy fish and underwater visuals, and the other one is coming from this camera. And by creating different presets of different routing, you can do something like this. So now we have, all underwater glitchy visuals. I can click preset and 2, and now it's all me. Or I could go preset and 3, and then now it's me on the right and the visuals on the left. Or I could do preset 4, and then it's like the inverse of that. And so the idea is to use that RS-232 connector to basically do that preset switching live during the performance, presumably synchronized to the music. All right, let's go through all the different combinations now. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Thanks for watching this CRT video wall tutorial. And if you want to hire me for an installation or live performance, send me a DM. Also message me if you want advice on how you can build stuff like this, or hire me to make it for you. So yeah, thanks again.